everyone, welcome to another episode of Angry TV, where we're going to be messing about with a van today. So obviously an old van, its modern conveniences are a little bit shit, particularly reversing it, and given it's got a great big iron girder on the back, that's not great. So what I've done is I've found this, which is a little Wi-Fi camera that supposedly uses your phone as the screen, which is perfect. It's app based. It's 25 quid, and it seems to work apparently. So I'm going to try and install one and see how we get on. But I've obviously got no experience with wiring stuff up, so whether it works or not is another story. But let's give it a go, see what happens. Right, so this is what you get in the box. Really basic. Obviously, get an instruction manual. That looks like where you download the app. Get this neat little camera there. A sticky pad. I'm going to screw it to the van, and this is the main cabling with 3 wires. And supposedly you only need to do 2 of these, the red and the black one. So red to power, black to ground, and I think the yellow one is for activating off the reverse light, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to use the app like most people do, so I'll just blank that one off and not worry about that. But that's what you get. So in theory it's a 2-wire install, but obviously that's easier said than done. Right, so if you've never seen one before, this is the engine bay of a late bay van. We've got the main battery over there, that's the bit that makes it go, and then over there is the leisure battery. Someone has very kindly put some earth points there which might come in useful, so I'm hoping I'll be able to attach the earth to there, but then I've got to try and find somewhere to plug in the power. So as you can see, that positive over there is quite a long way away, so I'm probably going to have to try and put it on one of the terminals here, and then find another earth point in here to put the earth to. I've also got to get the cable from somewhere here, down and through and out, so it's not a straightforward job, but yeah, let's see how we get on. Right guys, so as you can see, this cable on this stuff is shocking quality. There must be at least, well, I say at least, there must be around 3 strands per wire, which makes stripping them extremely careful. I've had to strip it back quite a long way to get a decent strip, so yeah, not brilliant. Right, you have to excuse the mess, but we've now got something that's like a usable wire with them crimped off with proper connectors on. I've insulated them as well. I've also made up a second piece of power wire to go from battery to join up to that. So I've got to do all of this before I even test whether the camera works. Fun. Right guys, so this is a bit of a wiry mess. We've got the ground there, we've got power going up to the accessory battery up there, and this obviously we've got to be tidied up. But good news is we appear to have a functioning camera. Right, now let's tidy it up. Right guys, and it's in there on the back of the van. Not something you expect to see on a 1975 van. So I've managed to feed the cable up just into the interior light there, and then it comes in through there, down through there, and then goes in attached. I've still got to tidy it all up, but you've got to check this out. I mean, look at that. The camera is really sharp. You've obviously got the reversing lines here. The white line is the back of the bumper, so I've kind of just adjusted it so that the camera points to just ahead of that. But look, genius. So if I stay somewhere between this yellow line here and this red one, in theory, I'm not going to do anything. It takes quite a lot to impress me, but that is absolutely genius for 25 quid. So I've obviously got to put it in the front of the van now, see if it works, and tidy all the cabling up. So we'll do that, and then we'll have some final thoughts on it. But wow. Right guys, so yes, you're inside the engine bay. So that's all nice and neatly put away now, all up there and tied up, and it's time to go and test it in the cab. Right guys, so that was interesting, I think is probably the right thing to say. There are no instructions for the wiring, so unless you sort of knew your way around some car wiring, you might struggle with that. Particularly stripping the wires was really difficult. They're very, very thin, which made stripping them really hard. And it's kind of depending on where your battery is in your car and your ground points. Obviously, you wouldn't necessarily have to strip them, pull them apart, or even make an extension lead like I've had to. But that said, it's taken me probably an hour, and it seems to be working. So I'm now back in the van. It's going to get noisy. I'm going to kind of show you what's what and see if it works, and we'll sort of do it as if we're doing it from the start. Now, it's probably fairly important to bear in mind, okay, this thing costs 25 quid. Okay, so for everything you see from this point in and up till now has cost 25 quid and an hour of my time. So given that I've just sat in the van and it was working a minute ago and it seems to be pretty decent, I don't think that's really, I don't think that's, why wouldn't you have one if you've got the skills and a bit of time and you need something like I do in this terrible 50-year-old van I've bought to make it a bit safer. So let's have a look at the app, and we're going to fire it up, see what happens, and then I'm going to kind of reverse the van and see what happens. So this is going to be a bit interesting because the van won't even start, but we'll find out. Hold on. Well, it's not the easiest filming conditions today because there is literally just here some really, really bright sunshine, first we've had in bloody months. So right, so this is where I normally have my phone. I'm also going to probably get a head unit that uses this as a display as well. So this is going to become effectively the display in my van, because this piece of junk down here doesn't work at all. That's just awful. Can't really cut a hole in the dash, and if I have something down there I'm not going to be able to see it. So I'm probably going to get what I've got in my Beetle, which is the Pioneer SPH 20 DAB, which is a single DIN unit that uses your phone as a display, and it works really well. So if it works really well in my Beetle, I'd like to do the same in this. But obviously this phone will become effectively my screen in my car. So right, this is the app that we need, WCar here. It hasn't connected straight away. You've got this little button up here, so I'm going to press that. It can see it, which is good because I'm now in the van and the camera's back in the back of the van. So we're going to connect to that, join. So I'm obviously going to have to find out if I can do that as like a trusted network. Just think about it. Obviously, don't forget I'm going to be trying to park the van, but look, it's there and it's working. So this bit is obviously the back of the bumper, the white bit here. So I've got the red lines within that. So I mean, I put my bin there as a bit of target practice. So should we give it a go and kind of see what happens? Right, stand by. Right, so this is what a 50-year-old van sounds like. Very, very noisy. Now, before anyone bothers with comments about blah blah filming while driving, I'm on my own driveway. I'm a danger to nobody, and it's private and I can do what I like, so don't even bother with that in the comments. This is for your benefit. So we're going to reverse now, see what happens. You see the red lines here, the green ones are quite faint, and I don't think that horrendous sun is helping this situation at all. So if the quality of this video is terrible, I'm really sorry, but there's not a lot I can do about it. Right, I'm going to put the van in reverse. Clunk. And we're going to reverse slowly towards the bin. There is a bit of lag on it, as you can see. It's a bit jumpy and a bit jolty, so I'm going to do this really carefully. So it's kind of frozen up a bit now. Yeah, so it's jumping, so that's not ideal. Because obviously I'm now moving. So you need to be super careful with this. It's a bit jolty and a bit jumpy, so that's not ideal. So let's go and have a look and see how that translates to how close I am to the bin. I should be kind of pretty near it. Let's go and have a look. So pretty close to the bin. The joltiness isn't brilliant, but that's probably to do with my van. It's very, very old. It doesn't have modern electronics. It's chugging away in the back there. So I don't know how well it's transmitting. It is a bit jumpy and a bit jolty, which isn't great, but it's better than nothing. I mean, I couldn't see behind the van before. At least I know now if I'm slow and I don't go anywhere near these bits, maybe even to the yellow, I'm not going to hit what's behind me. So again, for 25 quid, it's quite impressive. So that's that done. What do I think? I was really quite impressed until I tried to use it. The transmission on it is very jittery, which means you're going to have your wits about you. But again, it's better than nothing. Obviously, a live view camera plugged up to a double DIN unit or a screen of some sort would be much better. But again, it's 25 quid, it's better than nothing. It didn't really take me that long to install, and it's working. I've got it hooked up to my accessory battery, so it's not gonna, it shouldn't be causing any issues with the van battery. So yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I'm gonna have to give it a go for a little while, see how we get on. But 25 quid. I've now got a reversing camera of sorts. There might be some Wi-Fi interference around the house because I'm near the house that's not helping the transmission. So I kind of need to go out and give it a go and give it a sort of a fair go. But that is a bit of a disappointment that it's so jolty, because it obviously you don't want to kind of creep up and then find suddenly you're on top of the bin that you're supposed to have avoided. So not sure initially, but it's done. I've now got a reversing camera in my 50-year-old van, and it hasn't cost me a fortune. So even if I end up ripping it out again, it's 25 quid. So yeah, let's kind of give it a little bit of a play over the next few days, next few weeks, see how we get on, and I'll do a little follow-up video for you, and we can take it from there. Anyway, cheers, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, whoever that is. I hope you're finding these little videos interesting, helpful. But I've not owned a really old vehicle now for a good 30 years, so again, this is all kind of new to me, and stuff like that just makes it a lot easier to own one. Anyway, I'll see you for the next video. Cheers.